Hey, it's Black Vader again with another reading from Neely Fullers, The Code. You can get the code at producejustice.com. Producejustice.com. Last reading I did was the four basic types of people of the known, types of power among the people of the known universe, which is one all power, which is God, or Allah, or whoever runs behind the scenes, the guy like in Oz and the Wizard of Oz, whoever the it and or above is running behind the curtain. That's number one. Number two, superior power, which is the white supremacists in this world. Number three, inferior power, which is the non-white people of this world. Number three, immediate power, which is all plants, animals, things human beings have in their control to kill anybody they want to. Anybody has the power to kill anybody they want to within the psychological mind. That doesn't mean you do it. Not everyone does crazy things, but that's the immediate power we have as a person. That's it. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to go into two basic classes of people of the known universe right now. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for the support as well. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are two basic classes of people in the known universe. One, the powerful class, white supremacists, and two, the powerless class, all non-white people and those white people who are not white supremacists. Explanation: since the establishment of white supremacy racism among the people of the known universe, the terms upper class, middle class, and lower class have become so meaningless that to use such terms to describe any people does not promote the production of justice, but serves only to promote greater confusion. It is therefore best not to use such terms to describe any people now in the existence of the known universe. Under the system of white supremacy, as long as white supremacy exists, the best and most accurate way to describe people in terms of class is to best describe their power relationship to each other. By doing so, all white people who practice white supremacy racism must be recognized as the only people in the known universe who are the powerful class. All non-white people are subject to the powerful class and are therefore the powerless class. In addition, the white people who do not practice white supremacy are also known as the powerless class or the dominant society. I'm gonna write that down because now that I'm reviewing this, I'm like, that's why they be saying dominant society, because that is the absolute truth. This is the dominant society. In addition, white people who do not practice white supremacy are also the powerless class. However, those white people who do not practice white supremacy are not subject to the white supremacists, the powerless class, aka what's that do? I'm not giving no examples. The fact that no white person is subject to the white supremacist racists greatly confuses many non-white people. Some non-white people think that some white people are victims of white supremacy. They believe this when they see or hear about some white people doing things to harm other white people. Then they conclude that some white people practice white supremacy against each other. Such a conclusion is incorrect. White people do practice acts of non-justice against each other, but it is not possible for a white person to practice the major unjust act of white supremacy against another white person. All people practice non-justice against each other, white and non-white. But it is not possible for a white person to practice the major unjust act of white supremacy against another white person. All people practice non-just against each other, white and non-white, all the time, in all places, in all area of activity. The master injustice, however, is white supremacy racism, and it is only practiced by white people against non-white people. No white person is or can be subject to white supremacy. No white person is or can be subject to white supremacy. No white person is or can be subject to white supremacy. It is possible, however, for a white person to be powerless to do anything that is effective against this practice of white supremacy. I'm going to read this last part one more time. It is possible, however, for a white person to be powerless to do anything that is effective against the practice of white supremacy. Some examples of such persons are white people who are infantile or senile in the mind and body, that are completely dependent on others for all of their care and are completely incapable of doing harm to others. Let me read that one more time, start to finish. It is possible, however, for a white person to be powerless to do anything that is effective against white supremacy. Such examples of people are white people who are infantile or senile in the mind and body, that are completely dependent on others for all their care and are completely incapable of doing harm to each other. So white people can do anything to destroy the system of white supremacy. You guys can destroy this shit from the inside out. And I know there's enough white people who wants to destroy the system. There's enough of y'all. Y'all just gotta understand, y'all being controlled too, okay? You guys are the new slaves, but you guys are always like slaves. They just looked at y'all as white trash because the royal system has always been like this. There's always going to be smarter people and dumber people, or broke people or richer people. They just use the broke white people to look down on the rest of the black people or the non-white people of this country. Okay, since all of the white people who practice white supremacy are the powerful class, it generally serves no useful purpose for a non-white person to worry about which individual white person is more powerful than another within that class. Let me read that again. Since all of the white people who practice white supremacy are the powerful class, it generally serves no purpose for a non-white person to worry about which individual white person is more powerful than another within that class. So it's like me saying I shouldn't worry about white person A or white person B, because they're both in that class of powerful people, and I shouldn't worry about which is which because they're in that same class. Okay, like let's think about it like school. There's a class of I'm in school, and I'm in a hallway, and I'm going to my class, and I open the door, and there's about 15 people in that class, and they're all white supremacists. It doesn't matter what shoes that one white supremacist is wearing over here in this seat in the front. It doesn't matter what type of hairstyle that white supremacist in the back has, when the whole group is white supremacists. Do you understand where I'm coming from, or where Neely's coming from? But do you understand where I'm coming from? My example. If my example doesn't work, then just let me know. I'll just shut up and just keep reading. But let me read it one more time. Since all the white people who practice white supremacy are the powerful class, so that class I was walking to is like white supremacists. It's not like the good white people who aren't like, white supremacists. That class is just filled up with white supremacists. That's what the example's for. But okay. Since all of the white people who practice white supremacy are the powerful class, it generally serves no purpose no useful purpose for a non-white person to worry about which individual white person is more powerful than another within that class. A white supremacist is a white supremacist, powerful person. How one white supremacist relates to another white supremacist at any particular moment should be no major concern for a non-white person, since all white supremacists are committed to the practice of racism, white supremacy. In any event, the white supremacists who, as individuals, are smarter than many other white supremacists will, in all matters involving the maintenance of white supremacy, give effective support to those who are not so smart. This guarantees that all people classified as white are automatically entitled to receive benefits special only to people classified as white and the social material dominated by the white supremacist, the powerful class. Yo, this racism stuff is just gang banging. This is really just gang banging. And it's just like really expensive gang banging that we're born with. That's crazy. All this racism stuff is just gang banging that we're born with. And it's like, I'm a part of this gang. No, you're a part of this gang. Well, your gang did this to me, then my gang did this to you. But it's serious at the same time. I just think like it's so retarded how all, excuse my language, it's so stupid how all this stuff is. To me, it's like I really feel like there's bigger fish to fry, and not in terms, I think this is the biggest fish to fry, but I feel like after this biggest fish to fry, like 1,000 years, 100 years, or whatever it is from now, when everything should be better, if the white supremacy is destroyed, hopefully, and it's replaced with justice, like the fish that human beings are going to be frying is going to be off the chain. Like, that's the cookout. So, I just think it's stupid. Like, we should be able to, like, throw our kids in the jungle or whatever like that and be like, yo, build a house right now. Do it. Hurry. Everyone should be able to do that. Everybody. And it's not something like that's not impossible. It's just something that's limited within our minds and our abilities and our resources around us. And why is that? Because white supremacy wants to keep everybody contained within the system to keep working for them and not enhance the human experience in the way life is supposed to be. So that's my opinion of it. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna start whatever from the title, from the paragraph. If you guys hate me, oh well. In any event, the white supremacists who, as individuals, are smarter than many other white supremacists will, in all matters involving the maintenance of white supremacy, give effective support to those who are not so smart. This guarantees that all people classified as white are automatically entitled to receive benefits special only to people classified as white in a social and material system dominated by the white supremacists, the powerful class. In addition, the very existence of white supremacy, racism automatically eliminates the possibility any non-white person being so-called upper class or middle class in his or her relationship to in any person in any place in any time. Such persons are all subject class and or the powerless class. So no matter how rich I become, if I become a billionaire, okay, how about like this? Everyone who's watching this video, everyone who made it to almost 4 minutes. Imagine me as Tesla. Imagine me as rich as Tesla right now. And I put in the efforts and I put niggas on the moon and I do all this stuff. As long as white supremacy exists, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Until that system is destroyed, it doesn't matter because I can die at any second and they can take my fucking shit. And then they can just say like, oh, like they can copy everything I've done. They'll copy everything I've done and they'll put a brand on it and then charge 3 times extra. No, that's not good. That's not good. Or misquote what I say and then turn all these kids into crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I say like the sky is blue in the year 2050, and 100 years from now, because white supremacy exists in the 2100 or whatever. You know, they'll be like, no, he said the sky's red. I'm like, for real? Yeah, we're the white supremacists. We control everything. We control the media. He said the right is what is how we interpret it. I'm like, no, like, well, he doesn't own it. We own all his shit. Like, he tried doing it. Well, guess what? We took it anyway. It's white supremacy. We run the world. Like, oh, y'all still run the world? Yes, we still run the world. He did not own the moon. He did not own all this crap. Like, he thought of it. You know what I'm saying? But we took it from his girl. We took it from his kids. We took everything. We killed him. We shitted on him. And we mudslinged his name. So everything he did, like, just like Tesla, just like Martin Luther King, like, we shitted on all of it, no matter what. Like, and know all the work you've done, because you know why? Because white supremacy exists, and in a way that we refine things over here, like no, you can't. No. So as long as white supremacy exists and human beings can't do what like they want to do at their maximum potential, I believe like we can replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice. And if they want to call it a race, you guys don't got to do anything bad to make it a race. You know what I'm saying? How about we all race together? It's called a triathlon. We can do a triathlon. We can do like pass a baton. Isn't that how a lot of races are? You just pass a baton. Why can't y'all just pass a baton, bro? Like, what's the problem with that? We ain't even trying to. Y'all know we ain't trying to kill y'all, bro. We ain't even trying to kill all white people or anything, or white people in general. We just want a space to ourselves, some freedom to educate our kids, some other stuff too that I'll read all in this book. But if we can fill up everything in this book, we'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to kill nobody. We just want peace, and justice. Justice. Justice is love. Justice is truth. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent. This is definitely, I hope it don't get 30 minutes. I might be talking too much. Okay. So, as long as white supremacy exists, it is false and incorrect that any non-white person is upper class or middle class. How can they be if an upper class or middle class? Upper to or middle of what? As compared to what? As compared to who? Certainly not white people, and definitely not white supremacists. That's right. In the matters of class, non-white people compare each other, which under white supremacy is not only meaningless, pitiful, and an admission of weakness in their subservience to white supremacy, but also an acknowledgement of their fear to openly admit it. So when black people compare each other, let's say I drive a Lamborghini, and all the black people in town look at me like, oh, he has a Lamborghini. Who that nigga with the Lamborghini? You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I have a Lamborghini, I'm still not as rich as all the white people here, bro. Like, come on, get off me. 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 Like, even if I have a Lamborghini, I'm still not as rich as all the white people in this area. I'm still not the richest person in this area. Even LeBron James is not the richest person in LA. So all the stuff y'all be talking about LeBron getting money, he's still not richer than all the white people. So what y'all talking about? Y'all just mad because he got some money. He's a black man with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you get 100 black men $1 billion, that don't solve the problem of racism. Y'all just rude, man. Y'all are just evil. Okay, I'm sorry. Even though all non-white people are functionally lower class, meaning they are lower in comparison to white supremacists of the known universe, it is better not to say that they are lower class. To do so would be to promote questions regarding the confusing terms upper class or middle class, therefore referring to class status of all non-white people. It is better to say that they are a powerless class. As long as white supremacy exists, it is incorrect for any non-white person to pretend that he or she is any class of person other than the powerless class. 2 facts. The white people of the known universe collectively are the smartest and most capable people. The white people of the known universe collectively are the smartest and most capable of all people. And number 2, the white supremacist, racist man and racist woman collectively are the smartest and most capable of all the white people. Okay, I'm almost done. I guess I can read this page and a half. Of all the people in the known universe, it is those white people who practice racism, white supremacy, who have the greatest ability to use truth and to use it in such a manner as to produce justice and correctness in all places, in all areas of activity, in the shortest period of time. The white people who practice racism know that they could, if they chose to do so, produce justice and correctness between and among the people of the known universe. They are smart enough to do this. They also know, however, that in the process of producing justice and correctness, they would also eliminate racism, white supremacy. Knowing this, they have chosen not to practice justice and correctness. They prefer to continue to practice racism, even though they fully understand that in order to practice racism, they must do so by promoting falsehood, non-justice, and incorrectness. They apparently have judged that white supremacy is better than revealing truth. They apparently believe that the value of white supremacy is at least as valuable as a practice of justice and correctness. To them, the promotion of white supremacy has proven to be in many ways better than justice and better than correctness. The white supremacist racists have a total need to be and to feel supreme over all non-white people at all times. This supremacy is what they value most, even though they know that it can only be maintained by promoting falsehood, non-justice, and incorrectness. Through the skilled use of deceit, direct violence, and or threat of direct or indirect violence, the masters of racism, white supremacists, have chosen to continue this practice for no apparent reason other than to be proud of themselves for causing others to be fearful of them and or be dependent upon them. Such a relationship is non-just and incorrect. This is not a way that any people should relate to each other. Pride. Those white people who practice white supremacy should stop doing so. They should strive to become wise instead of being satisfied with being smart. The knowledge and understanding that they possess is a gift. That gift should not be wasted on what is fundamentally an ego-producing enterprise. It is incorrect to squander the gift of knowledge and understanding on the promotion of racism, white supremacy. All knowledge and all understanding should be used to produce a universe in which no people, white or non-white, abuse each other. There is reason to believe that the basic duty of each and every person in the known universe is to find truth and to use truth in such a manner as to produce justice and correctness at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity. In practice, there is no other way for any person in the known universe to justify his or her continued existence. Thank you guys for reading the code with me. That was 2 basic classes of people in the known universe: the powerful class and the powerless class. Next, I will be reading the 2 basic reactions to racism. Thank you guys so much for reading with me, and you guys have a blessed Christmas, and thank God for your existence. And thank God for continuing to live. And let's continue to work together with using our hearts and our minds and our souls and the things that we believe in to be constructive for everyone, so we can live long and we can produce children who live long and produce families who live long and grow. There's nothing wrong with living because that's what God made us here for. We just got to be constructive with our time and our resources. So thank you so much for allowing me to be constructive with your time and being a resource towards you. Thank you guys so much. You guys have a blessed day. Goodbye.